It is Friday. Welcome to it, sports fans. The MKT Show. My name is MKT. This might be the best Friday of all time. It's certainly the best Friday I've ever had. I'm the oldest I've ever been today. I've never been older than I am today, and it's a great feeling. Being alive, so good. So good. Waking up, not dying. Living my best life, as the youngsters are saying. It's been a great morning already. We are going to have the best finish to the week we have ever had as human beings in the history of Homo sapiens on the third rock from the sun, planet Earth. Welcome to the greatest sports show in the history of mankind. No hyperbole there. This show is the most magnificent thing that'll ever happen to you, and you're welcome. Quite frankly, you are welcome. It brings me great joy on this Friday to say I'm not alone. I'm with a man who refuses to get a haircut. He says, I'm going to live it my own way. It's a new time, you know. Gen Z. It's a time where I want to express myself. It's not about anybody else. I don't care whether my girlfriend or my mother hates it. It's about me. I'm an influencer in Vietnam. These people know nothing. Greatness comes at a price, you know. And ultimately what it tells you is the man is into himself more than anybody else. And I can respect that, you know. You got to look after yourself. A bit of self-catering. He didn't have COVID for 2 weeks, stayed at home, was a ball of anxiety, and didn't want to see his girlfriend, even though he was fine. But ultimately, a great human being, an ambassador for those who just believe in themselves. And as Oprah said, live your own truth. A man by the name of James Jimbo Illingsley. Jimbo, how you been, pal? It's Friday. You've done nothing about your physical appearance in terms of the beard and the hair. I mean, you just don't care, which I kind of like. You know, it lets me know that you're in control. That's what you're saying to us.
Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
It's either saying I'm in control or I've completely lost the plot.
It's true.
It's either I'm completely in control or I've lost complete control.
One of those two, huh?
Yeah.
All right. But otherwise, how you doing, pal? I mean, it's Friday.
Good.
You know, I've had a great day. Now, a lot of people might say I'm maybe physically and body shaming you, which is not right. A lot of people might say that, you know, is why did I comment on your physical appearance? I know that's been doing a lot of the rounds.
I've heard those words on the streets. You know, what's that saying? A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of sheep.
That's a wolf. Yeah,
Wolf.
but a lion would work in an analogy where you were talking about the Sahara. That one doesn't really work because very rarely, unless you're talking about the Maasai tribes or you move slightly higher. Once you get into Botswana and
I don't like it. I don't like when people do that. When people make things.
What, educate you?
No, I don't like when people take things and then like bring semantics into it. Don't need to be brought in.
Sorry, the information that actually makes what you were saying correct.
Nope.
So you don't like it. So is that like? So then, are you into star signs? And then because you don't like the fact that a scientist is going to come tell you, no, the waves in the ocean do not affect your personality if it's a red moon.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, so this time is different because I got one aspect of this saying wrong. But then, like, there's no means to go into the Sahara and, like, the desert and the Kalahari and lions. And no, you just say, James, it's wolves.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. You're a wolf, I'm a sheep. Let's move forward.
No, the analogy doesn't work unless you get the primary animal right. Number one, wolves are generally in Europe, right? And in the Americas, and generally in the wild. Sheep are farm animals. So already their ecosystems are separated. There's a very unique situation now. You can go to South America is one place, in Patagonia, where there are living farmers where things like wolves and the wild interact with farm animals. So the analogy itself doesn't work if you use the wrong animal. So as soon as you said lion, then the rest of the analogy doesn't work if you say sheep. What?
The saying is actually a lion does not concern it. So I was right the first time. We don't need to go into the semantics.
No, wait.
I don't care.
What's the whole saying?
A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of sheep. don't care that
No.
they're not part of the same ecosystem. I don't.
And
I get the saying.
That's wrong.
No.
No. The actual saying is a wolf, because there's also the analogy stretches. You can get a wolf in sheep's clothing. The analogy is about actually, that's the analogy. The wolf and the sheep in the history, there's actually lots of writing about the wolf and the sheep in plenty of analogies.
You see, this is exactly what I'm saying. This is way too many semantics. What I was doing was, it was a stab or
A jab.
or a...
Although it doesn't matter. Stab, jab. It doesn't matter, according to you. Yeah.
It was a jab at you, saying I'm better than you are.
Yes.
You're a sheep. I'm a wolf. I'm a lion. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It's not a real wolf.
We didn't need to go into that ecosystem is in Scotland and they look for different things, and no, we don't need to.
So you're not into facts.
I
is what you're
cannot
saying.
stand it when people do that. It's the most annoying thing.
No, but I don't understand what you don't like. Is the correct information is important for everything.
Yeah, but if the saying is a lion does not concern himself with the opinion sheep, or if the saying is also
Where
a
did you
wolf-
Google that? Because that's not the saying. The saying is literally, I'm telling you, the saying is a wolf doesn't concern, because that analogy works. It's been in folklore since time immemorial. The other analogy doesn't work. It's not a real thing. Is it someone's blog? Or is it an Instagram pic? Because the actual saying is wolf.
If you Google both sayings, they both come up. So, actually,
Let's
no,
see.
I'm wrong. Sorry, never mind. Both of them come up if you Google the saying,
Yeah.
essentially. So, tomato, potato. One of my biggest pet peeves when people are like, "No, James, actually,"
Yeah.
and then you take me into the semantics when I didn't even need it.
But now, can I tell you what you sound like? So so I've got a rule in my life, right? As a science grad, I don't talk to people about science anymore. I made a rule a couple of years ago, unless you've got a science undergrad at the very least, because this is exactly what happens. It's people often go with how they feel in everything, right? Like, I just feel that, the stars are just beautiful tonight. So as a Taurus, you know what I mean? Like, no, Sandra, I have to tell you how the cosmos actually works. I have a physicist friend. Let him explain to you. So that's what you're saying. You don't like facts.
No, it's not that I don't like facts, but when semantics are brought into a conversation where it doesn't need to be. If you got the gist of what I was saying,
Yeah.
you don't have to say, "No, James, actually, fish can stay underwater
Yeah.
for 3 hours and not 4.
Yeah.
Your saying is wrong, or no, we don't need the semantics. You got what I was saying.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
This is how chaos ensues in life. Just let it go.
We don't need to make life. I'm a person that tries to simplify things, guys. That's why the less semantics, the better. You went into ecosystems, couldn't care less, and sheep and lions. Semantics.
So you're what they might call a big picture kind of guy. What you're saying is, don't bore me with the details. Don't bore me with, because they say the devil's in the detail, but you're not into that. Just give me the bigger picture. You don't care how the Mona Lisa was painted. Don't bore me. Just, I want to go to the Louvre and see it.
Yes.
Yeah, don't bore me with the...
Yeah.
No, hey.
I'm a busy guy. No, I'm kidding.
No,
That's
fair
not
enough.
the reason.
So, yeah.
It's not the reason. It's just if semantics are brought into a conversation, I immediately, not just semantics in general,
Yeah.
but if the semantics are brought in and it takes the conversation in another direction, I immediately switch off. I'm just like, guys, no.
You don't need it.
This is not where we are.
You got
No.
better stuff to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to go boil my fingers.
Wow. What an interesting life you have ahead.
That's where I am.
Shout out to you though. Again, James, just living life your own way. You know what I mean?
It's very Aquarian of me.
Well, yeah. I was going to say more Sagittarius, but who cares about the details? All right. James Jimbo Illingsley. He's got what do they say? I feel, I don't want to say full of beans because that seems like something let's make one up. You're really full of Brussels sprouts this morning. Because full of beans might be a little traditional for you. It might be a little, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's make one up like you did with the line thing. You're really full of strawberry jam today.
What does it mean when people say full of beans? Sorry, I'm not following you.
Oh, you don't know the saying?
Yeah, no.
Full of beans. It's like when you're up and at 'em.
Yeah, I'm.
But again, I don't want. I want to change that, like you
Cool.
did. Yeah, you're really full of asparagus today.
Exactly. See, I'm fine with that because, cool, I'm full of asparagus. It's not making life complicated. I don't have to tell you, no, MKT, the saying is beans. You have to do, and then there's a back and forth about it. And no, James, but you said that. We don't. I'm fine with that. I'm really full of asparagus today.
How did
That's
you
fine.
survive at Saints where there's rules? Because I can hear what you're saying is an after thing where you guys had lattes in the afternoon and everyone's allowed an opinion. Or what was Saints like for you? Really hard, I'm sure.
I don't think it's an after thing. Like, I've always been like this. I've always been the person that's like on his own mission and like in his own like kind of world. I zone out a lot. I'm always thinking and processing things. So I've always been that person. Saints was a bit of a struggle because you know how like private boys' schools are.
Because there's rules and
exactly.
It's not how you feel about it.
Let's conform and do this and
the details really matter.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it had its struggles every now and then, but it didn't completely ruin my life.
Oh my God, James! I just realized you're a survivor. You made it through Saints. Oh my God! You're so brave.
Look,
you are so brave.
You know, it was the longest 8 years of my life.
Oh my gosh, James! You are a survivor. Like I survived COVID, and you survived Saints. And
you survived 2 weeks. I survived 8 years. I'm just saying.
You're inspirational, James. The more I'm looking at your beard, actually, the more I'm realizing actually you got a bit of a movie star look going now. I was hating because I've been hating on it, right?
Right.
But now you got a movie star thing going. This is on fleek now.
Is it like a Ewan McGregor movie star vibe?
Yeah, like that vibe. You got that vibe. I mean, even if you dealt with the hair, James is now looking on his phone.
Oh, it is kind of vibes.
Yeah,
huh?
you got a little something like 5 o'clock shadow going. It's on fleek now. I was hating on it, but now as I was looking at you talking absolute nonsense, it's on fleek. So maybe keep the beard, deal with the hair. Oh my goodness.
The hair is definitely being dealt with this morning. I am getting tired of coming home and putting on a cap to keep my hair out of my face.
It should be the looking at yourself, looking like that. The hair. The beard, fire. Mad.
Not because it's orange, huh?
Oh yeah, well I didn't want to, I'm not making a ginger joke, no. Hey, do the curtains match the carpet or do the carpet match the curtains? I nearly answered that. Classic stuff. But yeah, good beard, terrible hair, but you're dealing with the hair today.
Sunday.
Okay, so my hate on the beard has reduced. Looks fantastic, dude. You look like a movie star. But that's probably more for your mom and sister to sort out. I mean, a girlfriend to sort out, because I know one likes it, one doesn't.
Yeah.
Good luck with that whole thing. Just sort out the hair, pal.
Sunday is Father's Day.
Oh, really? Is it a public holiday on Monday then? In South Africa?
No. I was about to ask you, does Father's Day count as a public holiday?
Damn it, it's not, huh?
Because then does that mean... Okay,
no.
So I can still go on Sunday.
No. Dads can go to hell. I think Mother's Day is a real thing.
That means the barbers won't be busy because dads will be busy getting their breakfasts in bed. And,
what if dads are there getting a haircut? You know how people give dads like... We still live in like a super kind of women over here, men over here world, like blue pink.
Yeah.
Is, like dads get the worst presents in the world, right?
Like aftershave.
Yeah, aftershave or like a haircut with a beard... grooming session or
a
whatever.
Coupon to Food Lovers Market for 50 Rand off your mangoes.
Yeah, or an axe.
we actually like used to do pretty cool stuff for Father's Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like we knew and still know what my stepdad likes, and like sometimes it would be like a whole combination of things, other times it would be like just one specific thing. Father's Day for us was fun.
Really?
I was just lonely.
Never got into it in my household. So maybe it's because I come from old man. Like holidays are, as far as I'm concerned, like no, not into it. Christmas, Valentine's Day, just get on with it, But okay, I mean, Christmas was always a thing, just because it's a time to gather. So I'm not in the religion thing. But in every other one, I mean, birthdays, Father's Day, like what? When are we having Ants Day? Is that where we headed in this society? Does everyone need a day?
what was the other one that was the other day? The other day was World Donut Day, I think. Something like that.
Okay, but I don't mind those playful ones. But I don't want it to be like now Father's Day is a thing because it's all about what consumption, right? Father's Day, you have to buy something. Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day, you have to buy something. Christmas, but like it's all become about and spend all the money you don't have.
I think that's more of a consumer mindset. Like I think initially it's supposed to be about kind of like Christmas, right? So initially it's about
shout out Jesus.
Yeah, JC and being with family and
I think it's more about Jesus.
It is.
The family thing's been added by heathens.
You gather, right, with family to celebrate Jesus.
Oh, is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
But as times have sort of modernized and consumerism has increased massively, it's become more about gift giving and stuff. That's like Father's Day, for example, supposed to be about cherish your dad, take him out to lunch or something. Or
there we go, consumer. Why do I need to take him out?
Yeah, exactly.
Just cherish him. Just hey, Dad, love you. Cheers. Yeah. I'm off playing PlayStation. What's the difference? Having said that, you raised a good point here in terms of that. Father Christmas overshadowing Jesus a bit, and has anybody talked about that? Because Jesus, for his old man, pretty jealous. Doesn't really like it when people talk about themselves outside of him. And if I remember reading the good book correctly, God, Jesus, one person somehow, also his son. But anyway, don't really want to confuse people. God, pretty jealous guy. Jesus getting overshadowed. Father Christmas, bigger figure right now. Father Christmas, Jesus.
I think it's
tricky, eh? The fact that you have to think about it, isn't that crazy?
I don't want to say too much because I don't actually know the story of like Saint Nick and why he's related to like Christmas. Why is Saint Nick a Christmas thing?
Okay, so a lot of people will be confused by this because I think a lot of people think obviously I'm the idiot, and because usually you teach me stuff, right?
Correct. Very true.
But I'm going to teach you something now.
Okay, teach me.
Nicholas of Bari, famous. I went to a place in Italy called Bari, and the reason I went there, a guy called Phil Masinga, Phil Masinga was a great striker for Bafana Sundowns, and indeed the club Bari. So when I was in Italy, I said, oh, one of my heroes, Bari, cool, let's slip that into the travels. I arrived in Bari. There's this great little museum. Saint Nicholas of Bari, they call this guy. Greek bloke. Very, very interesting guy when you get into it. So you can go and look him up. Saint Nicholas of Bari. Everybody says, there's been a lot of stories about where the myth comes from, but it actually, the empirical evidence suggests it comes from there. Now, this Saint Nicholas guy, Greek bloke, Catholic church, blah, blah, blah. But he was living in Italy at the time, obviously, Catholicism and that whole thing. They had a bit of a, so he became famous for looking after kids and giving presents. He became famous for that. So Nicholas of Bari is the origin, if you are looking for where does the Father Christmas thing come from.
But
Saint Nicholas.
Why around Christmas does he give out gifts? Like, that's my thing. Is there a reason behind that, or like...
Oh, well, I would imagine that's the consumerism thing. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure that would have been at the museum. But anyway, I don't know that part. But I do know where the mythology of big red nose, big beard guy comes from. Saint Nicholas of Bari. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the actual story.
I think to answer your question, like which one's sort of more focused on, I think it's heavily dependent. Like people who go to like New Year's Mass and stuff, definitely more focused on Christmas time being about Jesus and not Saint Nick. And they still do the yay, Santa's coming, but I think it's very much more religion based.
Do Christians buy presents?
Yes.
Then Father Christmas is doing well for himself. You know what I mean? Because they need to lie to the kids and say Father Christmas bought. Because nobody says, nobody says, Jesus came down the chimney, popped in. Would have been weird for Jesus as well, because he, from all the pictures I've seen that we've all seen, of course, 100% accurate. We have to take it.
Yeah.
He was wearing a robe.
And it was white. Imagine how dirty that thing got after like 2 houses.
And I think underwear only got invented, I stand to be corrected, but I believe it was in the 18th century. Sliding down coal, imagine what he's looking like downstairs, sliding down maybe the 14th chimney, Jesus. So you can't really
His
say,
robe is dirty.
oh,
and it's
mess,
just not
long
vibes.
hair, it's getting stuck in the, there's nails and chimneys and there's all sorts going on.
Yeah, and then the beard becomes all like ugly because of the smoke in the chimney.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd say, honestly, Father Christmas, if Christians are buying presents, Father Christmas is winning. Because, you got to lie to the kids.
Mm.
You got to tell them a story, like who bought these gifts. You know what I'm saying? Until they're about 8. So
interesting.
shout
actually.
out to Father Christmas he's making a run. Maybe release a book, 2 parts, make it a thriller. Bring a dad in there. Maybe bring in a couple of Italian blokes.
It just also kind of shows how dumb
That's the
children
Romans,
are,
by the
right?
way. They killed Jesus.
Lol.
Pontius.
That's not lol. It just kind of shows how dumb children are, though. Because, like, and hear me out, right?
No, sure.
Johnny, it's Christmas next week. There's a man in a big red suit.
Mhm.
It's flying around the globe. What do you mean, Mum? No, he flies around the entire world in one night
Mm.
to bring you presents. And he knows your name. And you're on a list. And you have to sit in his lap
Mhm.
tomorrow
Yeah.
so that in a week when he comes, he brings you the right gift.
Yeah.
How did we believe in this?
No, but why is that dumber than people that think putting rocks on your back with if you've picked the special rock from a certain part of the world, if you put it on your back, it's going to open up something called your chakras. Children are no dumber than adults. People are dumb in general. Like, there are people who think a crystal has power. Like, what are we doing on
I do
Earth?
know people like
No,
that.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So those dumb children, or you're saying they're dumb, very funny, shows you how dumb children are. Why are they dumber than Stephanie, who goes on a yoga course to India for 6 months and thinks there's something called chakras aligning in your body? Like, that's not dumber than the 8-year-old who believes Santa, don't you think? Or am I crazy?
I think you're more dumb if you're older.
Yeah.
Because you've had life experience. You've
No,
sort
but
of become street smart.
Your mentality just now of, it's the idiocy, it's those details that you saying just now, you hate it.
Yeah.
That's what leads to Jessica with the rocks. Because the details are really important. Kind of like, how does physics work? How does, because eventually you know what happens.
Obviously, I'm not saying that details in every single situation are important.
Yeah.
I just read the room. Like, details aren't imperative in every situation.
You know what? That thinking is why Melanie at some stage thought, oh my God, guys, this rock, I just broke up with my boyfriend. If I keep this rock with my green tea, it'll usher out the bad energy. And also the incense, right? That's how you do it. That's how you get over a breakup. Do you know, like what you're saying now, the symptoms, as the great Cyril Ramaphosa, the symptoms. What you're gonna get is the symptoms
That's
of
my
that.
boy.
Old Cyril, hey? The symptoms. It's called, if you really want to be douchebaggy about it, James, this show's going wrong because I'm teaching you stuff. You should be teaching me.
Oh, I didn't read my thingy last night. Damn it.
Oh my goodness.
I was going to educate you, man.
Yeah? Pity. Anyway, it's what it is it's called permissivity, right? And right now it's that anything goes mentality of yours, where it's just like, just have a good time, like relax. No, don't relax. Otherwise you get people that stop me on the side of the road and they want me to buy, they want me to join their church. Get the hell out of my face, James.
They're cold.
This is what your thinking leads people to.
No, I just feel like life's already difficult. Like,
Sure.
people already have to, sit in traffic or deal with their baby the whole night so they can't sleep, or deal with their terrible boss.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have to overcomplicate every situation, Like, traffic doesn't bother me,
Got you.
and neither do taxis, because A, you're not going to escape traffic. And B, taxis don't care if you spend 3 hours on your hooter at that one taxi,
Yeah.
and then you drive all angry and you're like, oh, F you, and you flip the bird while you're driving down main road. Like, that dude he forgets about you 10 minutes down the road. Your blood pressure is high for the next, I think it's 6 hours. That's your whole work day, dude. And your blood pressure's, nah, dude.
James,
Pointless.
you're a wise man, guy. Do you know who Seneca is? Let me again. I'm gonna educate you. We'll do one last education point and we'll move on because actually you should be teaching me stuff. It's a bit annoying.
Spell it. Well, I think I may know who it is.
Okay.
Hang on. Wait.
No, don't Google it.
I want to see the spelling.
Seneca.
No.
Okay, that's very funny that you think. Let me take a look at it again. It's kind of like I think I might have gone to school with him. So, like,
no, I want to see
you were
the
doing that whole
spelling
thing.
of his surname.
Okay, so it's funny that you think that. Yeah. Anyway, hilarious. So this guy Seneca, he was the mentor to one of the most terrifying human beings we've ever had on this planet, Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus. This guy was called. You know him as the Great Emperor Nero, right?
I thought you were going to say Genghis Khan, but sure.
No, he had no mentor. He was a monster on his own.
Yeah.
He did have a couple of mentors actually, but anyway. So this guy, the Seneca guy, talks about anger in Rome. So he uses a lot of the analogies you're using now. Is like essentially it leads to if you cannot change your environment, you must change yourself. You know, if you like you're saying you can't affect the taxis. Actually, you can do something about traffic, but let's just say in your world as the driver, you can't do anything about traffic. Accept it, change your approach to it, you know, and move on. So wise words, James. Wise words. You and Seneca. Who would have thought?
Also, sitting in the car in traffic gives me a chance to listen to my music, and I enjoy that. Like, as you know, my music to me is everything. So
Sure.
sitting there, listening to my music, chilling. Obviously not chilling. I'm focusing on the road and the rules and
I got you.
stuff.
You can do more than one thing at a time.
Exactly.
Man, James, this has been huge for me. All right, it is Friday, though. We are a sports show. Good stuff, Jimbo. Good to have you on. And you've turned me around on that beard, by the way, looking unbelievable.
Ewan McGregor vibes.
Unbeardleavable. Good stuff. I'd like to thank the Academy. All right. As we do every single Friday, so we're going to do Friday 5 today. I'm going to tell you which 5 managers will get jobs until Jesus comes back. We'll talk a little Spurs, rejected. And if I stand to be corrected, please let me know if I'm wrong. Gennaro Gattuso has turned down Spurs as well.
You are correct. I did read that before the show.
Wow. As the Italians might say, mamma mia. Pierce Brosnan in that movie as well.
Here we go again.
No, Swedish. I think that's Swedish people.
Oh.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, that is Swedish.
That's ABBA, yeah. Different country, different culture.
Different peeps.
But I see what you did there. Again, I did the thing where I did the facts thing instead of just
We're
letting it go.
focusing on semantics,
yeah,
guys.
That's true. All right, Jimbo, hit me with that music. Let's get into it. Friday 5. In this week, where Spurs have been, as the youngsters might say, clowned, I decided, let me give you my list. I believe there are only 5 men on this planet, all right, that'll get a job in football at the very top, no matter what. There are only 5 of them. There are only 5 that are alive right now that I believe will get a job if they wanted to. All right, at number 5, listen, we know now it was Arsenal's fault. We know it was PSG and Neymar's fault because they can't win. They can't do anything. They can't even go and win Liga. So it wasn't this guy's fault. 4 Europa League finals, 4 wins. Okay, so it's not his fault. He's a winner. He's a serial winner, right? He'll get a job wherever he wants next. Villarreal, pit stop at number 5 of all managers who will get a... It's Unai Emery. I mean, the guy is unbelievable, uncompetable. Unai Emery. At number 4, I think it's too late for him to leave Italy. I don't think that's going to work anymore. But
I'm going to interrupt you. We've lost all visuals.
We'll keep going on the pod. Don't worry about it.
Alrighty.
Oh, wait. Actually, it's good that you interrupted me. I'll just start at Massimo Allegri.
Are we not live anymore? What's happening?
We just have to wait for the internet to return.
So orcs.
We have returned. Technical difficulties happen. All right, listen, at number 5, I had Unai Emery. At number 4 of managers that'll get a job anytime they want, whenever they want. At number 4, he'll never leave Italy. He's the best Italian manager in Italy, certainly in Italy. Juve has crumbled without him. Culture setter, magnificent coach, magnificent manager, took them to 2 Champions League finals, and ultimately Pogba, Pirlo, and co failed. At number 4, the great Massimiliano Allegri. He's back at Juventus and back in the big seat. Listen, very few of these elite managers, I said it the other day, Juventus aren't idiots. They are serial winners. They understand what it takes. And they realized we can't find anybody. Arguably the greatest player they've had since Pavel Nedved Zidane just got fired after 1 season. They understand at the top it is a different world. So Massimo Allegri at number 4. At number 3, if there's one criticism of him, he doesn't win enough league titles. 8 years he spent in a dynasty and only 1 Serie A title. He's an elite coach. What's great about him, every single place he's been, I've never heard the ownership complaining that he's demanding players, because he's a top-level coach. He's probably, for me, the best coach, just genuine coach in world football. He's one of 3 managers to have won 3 Champions League titles. There's only him, Paisley, and Zizou Zidane. At number 3, the magnificent, a man who has done the impossible. Great player, great coach, Carlo Ancelotti. He could get a job anywhere, anytime, whenever he wants it. He will command a top job. At number 2, listen, it's clear he made a mistake by going to Spurs, and that was his fault. I think the pressure starting to get to him from the outside, which is strange because it's against his personality. I'd argue he's the best manager, certainly, of this current generation. He got Spurs to a cup final, for goodness sake. If that doesn't tell you enough, he's the best thing going. At number 2, the great Jose Mourinho. He will get a job anywhere, anytime. Listen, Spurs fired him. It's almost like Roma were waiting outside in the Uber. He couldn't get a job fast enough. Couldn't get away from football for a single second. Jose Mourinho at number 1. I think this one kind of, he's great at hiding his ego. Listen, competent people have egos. There is not a single competent. They are very, very rare. If you're into the NFL, Julio Jones is maybe the only person on planet Earth who is an all-timer and has no ego. But this man's great at hiding the ego. He controls the narrative brilliantly because everybody kind of looks at him as this thinker and, people's person. But he is another level. The demanding nature of this man must make everybody uncomfortable all of the time. He's unstoppable right now. He's the guy right now. He is the guy right now. A man on his way to resetting records everywhere. At number 1, a man who will get any job, anytime, anywhere he wants it. Pep Guardiola. 5, Unai Emery. 4, Massimiliano Allegri. 3, Carlo Ancelotti. 2, Jose Mourinho. And 1, Pep Guardiola. I believe those are the only 5 managers in the world. If they said to their current employers, I quit, they are certified a job everywhere else. Certified, guaranteed, surefire. I don't think there's anyone else who would command that job. Everything about those 5 screams winner. And I'm talking at the very top end. I'm not just talking about participating and challenging for things. I'm talking about at the very, very top end. Real Madrid, Barcelona, they'd all, if those people are available, no problems. And if Barcelona actually would put their egos aside, should have employed Jose Mourinho. Stop telling me about your strategy. Strategy is, listen, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Stop wasting my time with your ego. Mourinho should have been the Barcelona manager. Should not have been Ronald Koeman. You can't let Jose Mourinho go to Spurs. Mental. 5, Unai Emery. 4, Allegri. 3, Carlo Ancelotti. 2, Jose Mourinho. And the guy right now, Pep Guardiola. He's the guy. He is the guy. He is the guy. He's doing it right now. Just everything about him says it screams organized. It screams, even the way he moved to Man City, the board was the previous Barcelona board, and it was just so clinically done. You could see it. Pellegrini, outstanding season. He was gone anyway. Pep set up the whole ecosystem for himself. Because what Pep wants to do, and this is how you win in life, right? He wants to coach football. Pep Guardiola doesn't care about transfers and people's egos. Like, he wants somebody else to do that so that he can just pour 100% of his soul into what does Saturday look like. You know, Mourinho, different animal. Now he wants to take over the whole football operation, right? Carlo Ancelotti, same. I want to just coach. He's like Pep. I want to coach and give me players and recruitment and strategy. Who you got? These guys? 4-4-2? Diamond? 3-5-2? That's what I do. Mourinho's a different animal. And Massimiliano Allegri, different animal. Because he wants the whole operation. Though those guys, they don't want a piece of it. The board is so-and-so. But Pep, I guess in a sense, he's the hybrid, right? Is he wants it controlled from the board. He wants to know that the project's on board. He wants to know that the people he's working with, they get it. Then I can focus. And different way to do it. Different way to do it. Pep Guardiola, he's winning right now, James.
Pep is not from this planet.
He's doing it.
He's turned many clubs into dynasties. Clubs that were, of course, already pretty well established in terms of silverware. But I want to see what he does. You know, it'll never happen because of his pedigree. Mm-hmm. Should I say pedigree?
Pedigree, yeah.
This non-smoking thing's having an impact. I want to see him manage like at least maybe, I don't know, like a smaller team, but not too small. I just want to see what he does because, you know, it's one thing to take Barca, Bayern, City, some of the clubs with the biggest transfer budgets in the world. It's one thing to take that to the top. I want to see what he does where he actually has to, you know.
Which is my argument always for Jose Mourinho. Porto were not competing with anybody, and he went and won the Champions League and league with them. So, see, once you can do that. So everybody hates Mourinho, but you're not going to take away that he took Porto probably on 100th of the budget that Man United were on, went and beat Man United, and then went and won the Champions League. That's so what you're saying. If that is a measurement, and I know a lot of people do kind of have that. I don't agree with what you're saying, but okay, it's an argument. It's why I think Mourinho is a better manager. If you're gonna take the whole picture, because what he did at Porto is unprecedented. It shouldn't happen. I mean, go and look at all the winners. It's only super clubs since Porto. It shouldn't happen. What Mourinho did at Porto should not happen. And what you're saying is, you kind of want that. You want Pep to go to like a Porto and do it.
Yeah, like Leicester City, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Rodgers, to me, is actually a phenomenal manager.
Sure.
Took Liverpool to almost winning the title. We don't talk about it. I know what joke you were going to make. We don't talk about it, right?
I wasn't going to make a joke. We said we mustn't talk about it. I'm an empathetic person. You know that, I know that.
Just thinking about it brings back
fight back the tears. Is it unbelievable for you? Unbelievable. See what I've done there?
Yes.
Yeah.
He took Liverpool to, let's be honest, if that didn't happen, that would have been a Premier League for Liverpool. He took Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
Although Celtic were already,
they're the biggest club. Yeah,
they were the team to beat in Scotland. But I mean, you know, granted, Leicester have a couple of talented players here and there, and they won a Premier League a couple of years ago, and you know they're finding their way. But last season, man, he took Leicester to, you know, they went head to head with Chelsea, dude. Chelsea, bruh, and it was a bit unfortunate with how it all sort of ended with, you know, the Tottenham game and the Liverpool game and where they actually ended up finishing. But, dude, that Leicester team was a force last season, and so was that Liverpool team when he was in charge. And I'm not sure about the Celtic team, but they probably were too. Yeah, I think Brendan Rodgers did vibes.
I might say this to you. There's a reason why investment banks go to Harvard, Yale when they pick people. there's different types of people in life. Brendan Rodgers is probably better at bringing out the best in less talent. We've seen that now. And the presumption is, because David Moyes is probably the most prominent example. Everyone thought, oh, no, if you can do it at Everton, just copy-paste.
Yeah, do it at Man United.
No, the problem is when you go and now you have to deal with Sergio Aguero instead of Iheanacho. It's not the same thing. Because now what you need to do, with Iheanacho, you're probably still coaching. With Jamie Vardy, you're still coaching. You're still patterns, movement. See, when you're dealing with Sergio Aguero, it's to set new challenges for him. There's a different dynamic there of dealing with Sergio Aguero. My point on the Harvard thing was certain people are prepared for certain things. Brendan Rodgers, I think it's becoming more clear. I don't know if he's going to get another big job. It's like, okay, that's Celtic level. Swansea was his best time.
Yeah.
You know, Leicester now, the underdog thing, punch above your weight. Even Liverpool, if you think about it, really, they shouldn't have been there. If Luis Suarez hadn't been a magnificent cannibal, they might have actually won that, by the way. Because keep in mind, in that season, Luis Suarez misses, I think, 6 games. Because he took a chunk out of Ivanovic's arm, as you know.
That was an
I wonder if he had it medium rare, yeah.
Sorry?
I wonder how he had his arm. Remember he bit Ivanovic. How do you think Luis Suarez likes his arms?
I'm desperately trying
medium
to...
rare.
I'm desperately trying to think of a pun here, but Ivanovic and making a pun out of that is...
Yeah, that's... Wow. That's a son of a itch. Itch. Ivanovic.
We're just...
Branislav. Anyway, yeah, I think, again, Liverpool really shouldn't have been in it if you think about it. It's just that Luis Suarez because he missed, I think, 5 or 6 games that season and still won top goal scorer, by the way, 31 goals in the league alone. He only played 33 games that season, did Luis Suarez. If he wasn't a cannibal, they would have won the league because really that season was built on him. He turned Danny Sturridge into Pele for a season.
Dude, that season with Sturridge and Suarez.
It was just Suarez. It wasn't. People must stop saying Sturridge. It was just Suarez.
No,
he unlocked. No, but Danny Sturridge had that season and has never repeated it again.
True.
It was Suarez. It was Suarez and Danny Sturridge. You come for a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not anything.
They had this like.
No, they had Suarez. Don't put Sturridge in it. They had Suarez. It was like having Jesus in your team for 15 minutes. Be honest, that is probably in the modern day the greatest Liverpool individual season. Steven Gerrard's never come close to what Luis Suarez did that season, and nobody since.
Was that the same season where Suarez scored from the halfway line against Norwich?
Could have been. I mean, honestly, I think in that season he could have walked on water.
I think it was also the same season he scored. He became the first player to score a double hat trick against the same team.
Yeah, he scored. Guys, he didn't even play the whole season and still came back, having missed 5 games, and won the top goal scorer. It's impossible, surely. Still,
that team should never have gone as far as it did. We
had Daniel Agger
developing
and
Coutinho.
Skirtle, and that was a terrible team.
We had a Coutinho that was still like 20 years old, developing.
Yeah, Pepe Reina, who was too old at that stage.
We shouldn't have won anything.
Who was your right back? Was it Finnan or had you gone to Glenn Johnson?
Glenn
maybe?
Johnson.
Was it Johnson around?
Must have been.
No.
Johnson.
I think Glenn Johnson was. But anyway, look, we should know who it is, right? It wasn't like you had Samu Hupia and Virgil van Dijk. You know, that was. So again, underachievers. He took them to another level. But when it starts to get demanding, I'm not so sure. And you saw, I mean, the demands came. We got to go a different direction. The demands came for Jurgen Klopp, Premier League. It took 5 years, but still, you know. So I think the Pep thing, my point on Pep is that some people shouldn't go to lower teams because you don't go to Harvard to go and work at Uncle Susie's lemonade stand.
Yeah, but surely you want a sort of challenge at some point. You can't take the champions of Germany to the champions of Germany again, or the champions of England to the champions of England to taking a break to the champions of England to the champions of England to the champions of England. Like 5 years, honestly.
Look, you can't expect a Harvard kid to come work in an office where the computers don't work. You know, if Pep goes to, and he shouldn't because he's been through the university education, hypothetically at Barcelona, he should never have to drop. It's somebody else's problem if you didn't go to Barca Academy and get yourself to that level. Because the thing about sport It's a fantastic thing. It's a meritocracy. It's probably one of the few spaces in the world that's left that is purely meritocratic. Is if you're great, they'll find you. If you're a great manager, you'll be at Barcelona. We'll find you, right? No, as far as I'm concerned, but okay, I hear what you're saying. I know it's a romantic notion. And if you're going to say that, there's a reason Jose Mourinho, I think, is the greatest manager of this generation. I can't see if what James is saying is an argument for people. Mourinho is the greatest manager of this generation, and it's not close.
Even Zapata says that Pep should go to Spurs, dude.
No, Pep's organized.
Imagine he turns the ship around at Spurs, dude. Like takes them to I've gone blank.
Champions League.
A treble, sorry. He takes them to a treble without Harry Kane. He just takes them to a treble with Son.
Also, you know what I've said before in life is not everybody should be dating a good-looking woman. Is that Pep Guardiola is a supermodel. Spurs are just a fat guy on the beach who's rich. The two, eventually, she's going to be like, what the hell am I doing with this moron? Right? Do you know what I mean? It's like the money is nice, but like Spurs are, no, supermodels should date Brad Pitt, right? Or Tay Diggs. Like, no, there's levels. Like, relationships are hard enough. Because I know what the notion is. People are always like, find your opposite. Negatives or plus negative, like a magnet. Like, no, that's absolute nonsense, right? Elite people should be with elite people. And Spurs and Pep is a disaster waiting to happen. Because he has demands. What he doesn't want to do is pitch up and say, here are the 6 players we need for next season. And Daniel Levy comes back and says, I got everyone on this list, except the thing is I changed the list. Huh? What are you talking about? I thought you said you want to win the league. I do want to win the league. Okay, so where are the players I told you? No. We thought that top 4 might be a good idea. Do you understand what I'm saying? You see where people are. It's like if someone's a beautiful lady who wants to go to restaurants and go out. Fatty wants to just sit at home and watch, I don't know, the Golden Girls or whatever Fatty does on the couch. You know what I mean? So the model doesn't, I don't want to sit on the couch with Fatty. Pep Guardiola doesn't want to be discussing about developing a program for winning. No, this is how we win. You saw what he did in the second season at Man City. Yeah, we're here to win. Because Spurs would want to have a conversation with him, right? Pep Guardiola goes, no. I'm here to win. We all understand that. Now, here are the 6 players. Thank you very much. I'll see you at the beginning of the season. How's that going to go with Daniel Levy? When he couldn't even convince Antonio Conte to come and join. How's that going to go for Levy?
Not even Conte. What's his face also?
It's like, again, I'll use this example in life. And people don't like it. Maybe I am elitist. I don't know. But if you go to Harvard and you finish your grad program, you shouldn't have to go to a startup where the internet doesn't work. Because there's a reason you've put yourself through the arduous notion of straight A's all the way. Is that's so that I don't have to worry about getting into Fannie Mae or working with Buffett. You know what I mean? Like, I should be a Tesla. What am I doing coming to your rinky-dink startup if I've done investment banking studies at Yale? No, I'm not for that. And the presumption that it's easier at Man City, it's easier at Real Madrid, it's easier at Barcelona, I find it false. Because one thing I do know about high achievers is they are demanding. Everybody thinks, what do the young kids say now, James? Must be nice. Hey? I'm hearing that quite a bit. I quite enjoy that one. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. It must be a nightmare. Because if you think the sheikh from the UAE is just hey, Pep, you get out there, you have a good time, pa. Sorry you lost the Champions League. If you think that's how that conversation went, you're out of your mind. The expectation of billionaires, because we all know this, billionaires don't like to lose. Billionaires do not like. Pep Guardiola is under immense pressure now, because they expect to win the league. Obviously, it's kind of like PSG, right? We've outspent everybody. We've given you 2 squads that could win the league,
and they still come third.
No. So no. What I'm saying is, the sheikh would have come to Pep and said, "Okay, no, that's not an achievement, by the way. Where's the Champions League, pal?" And they would have had a heated meeting. So my point is, at the top, it is ugly. And to stay there takes a certain personality type. To stay with billionaires that ain't fun. It's not a fun ride. Winning is a brutal business. This is why the top investment banks, you know where they start? At Yale and Harvard, at Oxford. You know why? Because they know you've been through hell. So when you come here, you're ready-made. There's a ready-made warrior here. This lady, this gent, when we're demanding that you work 15 hours a day for 6 years just to get your own desk, cool, you're ready. So when Man City go to Pep, they're like, okay, we know that our expectations, we're starting off on the same page. You know what I mean? Now, when Brendan Rodgers, we still like, ugh, can he win? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got it. Now he's going to come in here, and are we going to have to push him? We're going to have to babysit him. Because if there's one thing rich people don't like to do, and I'll tell you as an employer, something I hate doing, I hate babysitting people. If we pay you, you know what I'm paying you to do? Solve my problems. And there's a language, by the way, in the world that billionaires use. It's called money. The more I pay you, guess what? Guess what money comes with? Expectation. It comes with... Trust me, I know successful people. 10 Rand is still 10 Rand. $5 is still $5. Don't tell me I'm a billionaire. I work for that money. Deliver. So I think just... You kind of saw it again. Harry Redknapp at Spurs. He took them to a certain point, but there's limitations. You know, Rafa went to Real Madrid. How did that work out? Rafa at Chelsea. How did that work out with the expectations? Give Rafa a Liverpool, though. Slightly lower expectations. He brings out the best. Where were Rafa's best days? Valencia. What happens there? Expectations aren't too low. Rafa performs in the, I can come and enjoy it and be creative. Won league titles. I mean, it helps with that you had guys come in Dieta, but okay. Some team that was that Valencia team. Rufete. The early machinations of Mata. David Silva. Anyway. David Albalda. Oh my God, that team was loaded. Now that Ruben Baraja. My God, what a team that was. Canizares. Hey, maybe Rafa had some talent. But anyway, again, some people are meant to manage at certain levels because going to the apex is not. Working at Fannie Mae is not for everybody. Working at Tesla is not for everybody. It is not. That's everybody says it must be nice, folks. There's a reason why, and I know everybody says it will tell you it sounds elitist. There's a reason why Oxford exists. It's not because the elites want to leave you out. Perhaps that's some of it. Actually, what we need to prepare you for is so that we don't want to hear after and just be creative. There are hardcore rules, and I need to know when you get here that you're ready to go, Chief. 15 hours a day is expected. I need to know that you're ready. I need to know that they've knocked your ego out of you. That's what Man City do. That's what Real Madrid do. There's a reason why Real Madrid didn't go and get Mauricio Pochettino. They could have. They did. Very easily could have. Why didn't they? Babysit him. Is he a winner? No. That's not what we do here. We don't do that. But now that Carlo's back, he knows what the expectations are, and Florentino Perez. So I'm not so sure if it's easier to manage with a budget. I don't know. It doesn't always make... Because what I think money always does is that if you're incompetent, it'll expose those holes. It just makes everything bigger, right? If you're competent, it'll make that bigger. If there's holes in your game, David Moyes, right? Problems. There's holes in your game. It'll turn, what do they say, a crevice into the Grand Canyon. You know? So I hear what you're saying. So Pep Guardiola, Spurs, huh?
I wouldn't mind, actually. I have a few thoughts about Spurs themselves, but I'll save it for the Fonseca segment.
They've Spursed it.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's what they've done. They've Spursed it.
Is that a thing? No.
We've just made it a thing if it's not. What they've just done with the whole managerial situation, they've Spursed it.
Is that doing it beyond belief?
No, it's tomfoolery. You know when it's madness.
Who does he play for?
Tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Madness FC. Madness FC. No, it's madness what's going on at Spurs now. Shall we intermediate and return?
For the Spurs thing.
Yeah, let's take a break. We've been through quite a lot in this hour. James doesn't like details. Doesn't like being told what to do. Not really into facts. More into feelings. That's cool. We're different people. Is James a movie star? Maybe. I mean, that beard is insane. I don't know if it's the glasses as well, kind of giving it that movie star look.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. It could be the glasses. Maybe your girlfriend is lucky to have you. Because I was starting to think you're lucky, or it's a nightmare for her. I was starting to think, what the hell is the upside for James's girlfriend for staying with him? But I saw the beard just now, and I thought, I get it.
I'm also hilarious.
No, that's not it. You are maybe one of the nicest people on the planet, though. You're super nice. You're super hardworking. So maybe that's what your girlfriend likes about you. Not the sense of humor thing. No chance. No shot. That's not it. Not even,
shot.
No way.
I enjoy that you use no shot.
You like that?
I do, because I use it all the time. All the time.
All the time.
When I don't believe something.
No shot.
There's no shot.
All right. There's no shot of getting Gattuso to Spurs, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. My name is MKT. This is the MKT Show. Take a little break. We'll see you in a bit. The MKT Show. We've returned. It feels good. I feel like the prodigal son, which is a proverb from a book called the Bible. I have returned, and it feels good. It does feel good. The MKT Show. By the way, we had some issues yesterday. Somebody quite rightly called us out for the podcast not being up on the website.
They put you in your damn place,
That's
son.
been updated, and I love that. You know, I'm not one for nicey, cutie. Oh, shame, you made a mistake. I'm all for, hey, you bloody idiot, what are you doing? And I love that. I love that about our listeners calling us out, calling me out. One of our listeners yesterday calling me ugly. I like that brutal reality because the world is as it is. It's not how you want it to be. So to the lady or the gentleman yesterday who said, I'm sick and tired of no podcast on the website, shout out to you because that has been updated. There was actually, it seems, an issue. That's not your problem, right? Actually, because it's our problem to deliver it, and my problem in particular. The name of the show is my name. So everything that happens on this show is all my fault. So shout out to you, because we fixed the problem because of you. Listeners, it's a wonderful thing. We're in a relationship here. It's called people helping people. It's a wonderful thing. I hope you are having the greatest Friday in the history of Fridays. I truly hope that wherever you may be on planet Earth, you are having the greatest Friday ever recorded within your human body and brain. So we're having a great time here. Welcome back to the MKT Show. The podcast, if you are busy, because there's a lot of people in the city, it's busy. It might be Father's Day and you haven't got the present and you got to rush off now. You got to lie to your boss and say, I've got a external meeting. I know how it goes, but you want to listen to the MKT Show. But now your phone battery is dying, so you can't listen live in the car on YouTube. No problem. No problemo. You can get the podcast on cliffcentral.com. All the podcasts now are available on cliffcentral.com, the Cliff Central app, or wherever you may get your podcasts. Let's get into something now. It's huge. It's some of the biggest news in the world. You want to have a story told about it. You want to say to yourself, it's closing one chapter, opening another. It's kind of like, I imagine if you're a farmer and you got a chicken and you have to kill it for your family. It brings feelings of maybe closure, maybe pain, and ultimately we are talking about a man giving up a vice, saying to himself, you can be a better man. There's a better version of you inside of you. And in order to unlock that, you've got to make some sacrifices. Being self-serving, creating a disgusting smell for everyone around you, that's not who you are. That's not who you were raised to be. Ladies and gentlemen, a man called James Ilsley is now quitting smoking. And, we want to talk about that. Yesterday was the last day of smoking in his whole entire life, according to him. Allegedly, he will never ever smoke again following quitting last night. But it wasn't just a quitting, because as with most people in a Judeo-Christian society, we need a ceremony for everything. So, Jimbo, let's get into story time, pal. Talk to me about yesterday being the last day that you will ever have revolting teeth, a revolting smell. Your girlfriend now doesn't need to worry about, do I tell him how revolting it smells? All of these things. You've quit smoking.
I have.
Talk me through it.
Yes. I quit last night.
Okay.
Through the app, and it was quite a thing actually. There was a whole ceremony.
Okay.
And
definitely a cult.
Yep. You had to smoke the last cigarette. And then, so there was stuff you had to do while you were smoking. So like each exhale was like blowing out smoking deceptions.
Okay.
Like smoking helps me with stress. Like that's a smoking deception. So like each exhale was exhaling smoking deceptions, and then before I lit the cigarette, it was like it said, "You're now ready to smoke your last cigarette or whatever. You will need the following." And I was like, "What's happening now?" They said 1 cigarette, a lighter, and a pair of scissors. And I was like, "There's no shot. I've just gone through 6 days, and they're gonna tell me to cut up this last cigarette because I'm not mentally ready for this, dude. This is not what I need in my life." But apparently, it wasn't the case. So what actually happened was I was supposed to smoke it, and then instead of putting it out normally, I had to cut it. Like I'm cutting off the. It's all a subconscious thing, apparently.
Sure.
Cutting off the supply.
Sure.
Yeah, and I haven't smoked today. I've had a couple of urges, but no cravings, which is cool.
Tearful moment. I mean, well, what were you going through? What was the vibe there?
Just really happy because.
Did you cry?
No, I'm just more happy that I'm gonna be healthy and get active.
Yeah.
And go for a jog, Or maybe even starting Monday, I'll start walking around the complex. Who knows?
Anything's possible from here.
Exactly.
Did you tell anybody that's close to you? So I don't know who you consider close to you, maybe a friend, your mom, lady, whoever it may be, that you were going through this process, besides obviously everyone on earth who listens to this show?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Who did you tell?
You
don't say their names, just who are they in your life?
2 of my best friends yesterday.
Okay.
Girlfriend.
When did you tell your best friends? At the beginning that you're quitting smoking, or
no? I told them. So last night we played Apex, and I was like, guys, I have big news.
Apex is Apex Legends.
Yes. Yeah.
On Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And we were talking on the party chat and stuff, and I said, guys, I have big news. I'm quitting smoking, and they were like, dude, that's dope. That's really cool. And I was like, I know.
Do they smoke?
No.
Okay, so neither of them smoke. Okay. And who else did you tell? Did you tell anybody at the beginning of the process besides us?
I don't think I told anyone at the beginning, because I found out about it at like 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, and then I just started kind of doing it quietly for the first few days. And then I think I told the girlfriend, obviously, and then you guys. I don't even think my mom knows.
She doesn't know. So it's going to be a nice surprise for her when her house doesn't smell like cigarettes every time you come home.
Well, I told her I was quitting, but she doesn't know about the whole course thing.
Okay. Yeah, she'd be worried you're in a cult.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's winning all round. I hope. Listen, vices are, on a very serious note, vices are a thing, because some of the hooks are so deep in our subconscious that right now you feel pretty good because it's pretty romantic. It's like, yeah, but, in 3 months, you're stressed out, you have a fight with your mom, somebody at the shop irritates you when you're shopping, you know what I mean? And it's like 10:30 at night, I send you a message about work, you know what I mean? There's just, life comes at us all the time, and we have these vices that we, like you said, or deception. Okay, I hadn't heard it put like that, but we've created these coping mechanisms, which whether they're good or good for us, just because something's good, it doesn't mean it's good for us. So, but ultimately, when you are, anxiety is heightened, you don't really care. You just want to feel good, but for that moment, which is what a cigarette, a beer, whatever it is. We've all got our vices. Nobody's perfect. So, dude, I don't believe in luck. So I can only wish you the best on this journey, because I've been through a vice journey and quitting. And I used to be very uber preachy about it, because I do get very preachy in general. But this one's a super serious one for me. So I can only wish you the best. And I hope you use the people around you to, because it's a big thing, right? Like quitting, like we're making, having a laugh, but or at least it's a big thing for me, because smoking for me is a non-starter for so many reasons. But I can understand. I'm not. I used to be more like, are smokers just disgusting people that don't know what's happening on earth? But we've all got our vices. We've all got our vices. Anybody who's so sanctimonious and perfect is, probably someone I don't want to hang out with. But I've got to say, I am a very sanctimonious person. I do have those tendencies, but in terms of vices, because I've walked that one, it's keep at it.
Nicotine is more addictive than heroin.
Keep at it. I'm not so shocked by it. But again, it's all very much the same, right? Ultimately, even most, I have my mom worked with drug addicts for a long, and continues to. Most people with vices are often, and I do this, by the way, I do kind of reduce people to, just stop smoking, you idiot. That's just who I am. But actually, most of us are self-medicating in anything we're doing, right from smoking to heroin is, I'm in pain, make it go away just for the second, and pain can range from, I'm fighting with my girlfriend, right up to my marriage is falling apart, or mental health disorder, right? There's a whole spectrum. It's not just one thing. And ultimately, people are self-medicating. It's hard out here, dude. You know?
The streets are hard, dude.
Hey, streets be hard, bro. It's always listen, I said to my little niece, she's going through some stuff right now. I say, okay, her mom's a little bit soft on her, and I come from a different upbringing with my father, which is why people say, and people ask me this all the time, why are you so rigid? Why are you so hard on yourself? I say, life's hard, but I believe life is infinitely easier on people who are hard on themselves. But that's not for everyone. I'm not saying you must now go and adopt that, because that's a very brutal way to exist. But yeah, Jimbo, keep at it, pal. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be easy. Use the people around you. If you're feeling anxious, talk to people. Don't text me. I personally don't care. I've got no, I've got no horse in the race. Text someone who loves you. You just work with me. You know what I'm saying?
And for that reason, I'm glad.
Yeah. So don't text me, because I'm busy.
All the time.
No, well, I'm busy. Well, what do you think? My private life. I work. What do you think? I want your problems must come into my private life. What the hell are we doing here?
You sound uber important.
Well, what are we doing? Well, might as well get married to James now. Is that what's happening? Am I married to James?
What? Where are we now?
I'm taking on your problems, is what I mean. Listen, when you marry someone, you take on their problems, right? So don't text me.
I was not going to.
Look, all I've done now is make it very clear, because you know what I hate? I would hate for you to presume that you could text me about it. So in life, because I like your approach is very softy. Don't get into the... Now you know that it's not an option. You know what I mean? It's very clear to you. Like, because you might wake up and go, I wonder if he'd respond. Now you know. Get the hell out of here with that. I'm busy, I don't know, playing marbles or whatever I'm doing.
Sounds terribly boring.
What, marbles?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little judgy, but okay. Jeez.
Rather...
So I'm not rich like you, James. I can't afford an Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So not everyone lives your life. So quitting smoking, you're going to be so happy with yourself in 6 months' time.
You think so?
Yeah. You're going to, just stick at it. And especially in those, it's going to be tough. It's going to be, I'd say the first sort of year will be hard, because it's also, I'm sure you've heard this term, like a smoker's lifestyle. Think of something as simple as now going to a restaurant. You're going to have to pick non-smoking. Like little things which you've never ever thought about. You know what I mean?
That's why during the cult, I've just kind of accepted it. I saw a comment from Zapeta. He's calling it a cult too. So, I've accepted it's a cult now.
Yeah.
During the cult, I read on one of the days, it says that smoking was a conscious thing, and it's become subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why over the last sort of 3 days of the program, they say that you have to smoke consciously. So like while you're smoking, you have to take it in and see how it tastes and how it smells and all of that stuff, so that in your brain you're smoking. My nose is really itchy all of a sudden.
Oh, you're getting a bit emotional.
I have no idea what's going on.
This is huge. James is so emotional that his nose has started to behave in a funny manner. Have you moved to cocaine?
I think a beard hair is tickling my nose.
I don't know. Maybe you've moved to cocaine. Hey, not a good replacement. I know they say with vices, do not replace it with cocaine, James. His nose, there's all sorts of things happening with James's nose right now. Have you moved on to the sugar booger?
No, it's just...
James, if you have, again, vices are tough, pal. You're probably there might be some stuff you're dealing with behind the scenes we don't know about. And, geez, I hope cocaine's not the solution.
That was horrifying. It just really got itchy all of a sudden. Anyway.
So it's not coke?
No, it's not coke.
Oh, okay.
It's just, it was...
Because Cristiano Ronaldo and I wouldn't like that.
$4 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they speak about smoking consciously and telling yourself while you're smoking that it's bad for you. And like before you start smoking, or like before you go to a smoke, you have to identify what your trigger is.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, I'm waiting for the chicken to cook in the oven. While I wait, I'm going to go smoke. That would be the trigger.
Got you.
Because that's something I've done for a while since living alone. Like while the food cooks, I'll smoke and go through Instagram or whatever, right? That's the trigger. You go upstairs. I'm not allowed to have my phone or anything with me, and I'm supposed to smoke the cigarette consciously,
Mm-hmm.
and then afterwards identify how it's made me feel,
Mm-hmm.
whether nauseous or tired or increased heart rate or whatever it is. And after doing that a couple of times, it becomes a subconscious thought as opposed to a conscious thing. Which is weird because it almost became like hard work to smoke. Like I was like, I really don't want to go sit on the balcony and just do nothing but stare at my cigarette. Like, it just doesn't sound like fun. Like it became hard work after a while, which I also think kind of helped. But yeah, feel good.
Shout out to you, dude.
Shout
out to anyone who has had to quit a vice.
I had a bagel this morning, and during the program they were like, you can enjoy satisfactions without cigarettes. Like you don't have to have a cigarette after food. That's just a nicotine thing. You don't have to have a cigarette after a shower or whatever it is. I had a bagel this morning with coffee. Satisfaction level 3,000, man.
Talk to me about it. I mean, flipping hell. Bagel and coffee, huh?
Satisfaction level 3,000.
Shout out to you, dude.
Damn, dude. That was...
Was it great?
It was so good, dude. And there was nothing. There was no like, cool, now I have to go smoke. Nothing, dude. It just... Like the satisfaction... It's so weird. That's how you humans do these things.
No, it makes sense. It totally makes sense to me. I'm on board. I get it. I get it. This is like a vibe. It's you're crossing over. You've crossed the proverbial Rubicon.
Exactly.
It's not. You're not actually crossing the river. It's a metaphor.
Sunday will be the big day.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday is where apparently it peaks.
Like the cravings, etc.
Urges and cravings. Apparently, the third day is where it peaks, and then after a week.
Okay, so in the cult, do they tell you to replace the craving with anything?
No. So during the program, they through all of the processes, they were removing cravings by doing these exercises of consciously smoking and consciously thinking about the negative benefits of smoking. Like that removes cravings subconsciously, apparently. And I must say, like I've tried quitting smoking before. I probably would have been incredibly anxious right now, but I don't know, dude. I've had a couple of urges this morning.
Has just out of interest, because I've never smoked, and when I was drinking at full tilt, like my girlfriend would say something about it then. Has your girlfriend never said anything? So has it never come up that this is a thing? Or do you guys just, okay, whatever, I love you, you love me, we move on?
No, she has.
Oh, it has come up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's a good thing for your relationship as well. No, then you the more important things that are going to flourish from this, right, just from my perspective, the better.
Yeah.
If this makes, because sometimes also I think a big thing for me, so I have spoken about it to a lot of people, was when I was drinking like a madman, it was affecting my relationship with my mom. So I'm a very selfish person, right? I'm all about me all the time. And if you're doing something, because it's quite major what you're doing in my eyes, maybe I'm wrong, but when you want to do something massive in life, just from my life experience, it can't just be about you, because that's pretty fast burning fuel. But when it's about other people, so for me, the drinking was affecting my relationship with my mother, and that's madness. That is one relationship I'd rather murder you, James, than have you affect my relationship with my mom, But I was doing that. So then it became about that. Like when I thought to myself, if I was to be drinking and getting hammered, I know my mom doesn't like that. How does that make my mom feel? And if I don't care about that, what am I saying about myself? If I don't care how my mom feels, and I know she hates that I'm getting drunk, what does that say about me? Do you know what I mean? So when you make it about other people, and this is just through my own experience. I didn't do any reading or anything. I've found through my experience that, especially for me, I've kept it about loved ones. I don't care about anybody outside of my trusted circle, which is 4 or 5 people on the whole planet. And because the vice and the urge for it will come. And in that moment, you need a bedrock to fall back on, like Christians would have the Bible or whatever. For me, a thing was, okay, it's about me, you know, like it's taking away from my health, blah, blah, all of that. But also, well, if I don't do this and my sister, you know, it's affecting my relationship with my sister, and I don't care about my relationship with my sister, what does that say about me? What is that? Is that the kind of man I want to be? I'm just telling you some of the coping mechanisms I used. And it was when it was still a thing for me. I mean, I stopped 8 years ago. That was a very helpful thing for me to kind of, it's brutal because it means no excuses now. Be the man that you say you're going to be, right? And if you're not, in your case, unfortunately for you, you're going to have to accept if you slip up, you're saying, I don't care about my girlfriend. And then that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
That kind of gets weird. If you like, my urge to smoke is more important than my girlfriend's happiness. That's like a weird thing, or not? And I'm not saying you are like this. I'm saying for me, in my thing, when my urge to drink is more important than my relationship with my mom, because that is the choice you have. It's very clear to me. It's like, oh no, my relationship with my mom's a lot more important than getting drunk. It's very clear. It took some time, you know, and obviously you'll make your excuses and go, but my mom's chill, she'll love me anyway. But in the end, I am hurting her, and you have to make that decision. And it's tough, but you'll go through the journey on your own, Jimbo, and I'm sure you'll be fine, pal. You know what I'm saying?
There.
Yeah, you'll be good. It's a journey, and yeah, I'm sure it'll help your relationship, which is good. That's the best part. I hope you and your girlfriend stay together forever, and you, I don't know, you know, move to a farm and mix lions and sheep
and wolves.
Yeah, it will be a little tricky. I think the lions might kill the wolf. Yeah.
Semantics.
No, it's just a real life. I mean,
yeah, but that was a playback to earlier.
You got to get what are the sheepdogs? What do you call them? Alsatians.
Are they Alsatians? No.
I don't know dog breeds. That's my problem. You need one of those. Those things are incredible. Anyway, okay, cool. You know what the dog I'm talking about?
Like Lassie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the black one's better.
What are they called?
I don't know. It's not Alsatian, huh?
I don't know dog names. Like, dude, the amount of people that I know that know dog names.
They're like breeds,
so
yeah.
Weird. They're like, oh, dude, look at that Pomeranian. I'm like, how the fuck do you know
like, what are
that's
you talking about? What are you? Yeah. What's the guy's name? The dog whisperer dude with the silver hair. The Spanish guy, yeah. Oh, you never seen the reality show?
No.
Yeah. It'll come to me now. Some Spanish guy. All right. Good stuff. Quitting smoking. All right. Speaking of...
A border collie.
A border collie. It's a collie. That's it. It's phenomenal dogs. By the way, do not get a collie if you live in an apartment. That makes you the most selfish human being in the history of mankind, because they need some room to operate, and they need to operate at a high level every single day. So if you don't live on a farm and you have a collie, or you don't live in like a Bryanston estate and you have a collie, you're the biggest douchebag in the world.
I really want a dog, but I live on like the top floor of an apartment.
And also, just look after yourself, James. At this stage, please. Dogs need to be looked after. You can look after yourself for now. You do not have a dog. James, you're on the brink of just learning to look after yourself. Do not get a dog.
Maybe I should get a toidle.
What's a toidle?
A toidus.
Oh my God. Just, why do you need more stuff? Just look after yourself.
Because I get lonely.
Yeah, you just quit smoking. Play Apex Legends more. Get Apex Legends on your phone. I don't know what you do.
The mobile's not releasing until end of this year.
You hate to hear it.
Yeah, you do.
You hate to hear it. All right. Okay, James. James is no longer a smoker. Very good for him. Very good for me. It means I don't have to body shame him anymore, because I will shame him when he comes in the studio and he smells disgusting. That's a real thing. And today, James, you want to know what you smell like? Hope. That's what you smell like.
I thought you were going to say deodorant.
Hope. You smell like hope.
I think I smell kind of sweaty, actually. It's kind of warm in the studio.
All right. It's because you're not smoking anymore.
It's true. My pores...
You can actually feel now.
My pores are leaking nicotine.
Your temperature regulation is actually working. All right. Let's get into what we were talking about. They Spursed it. We made that up before the break.
We did.
Cesar Millan. That's who it is.
Who?
The dog whisperer.
Oh.
Cesar Millan.
Right.
I just saw Andrew Harrison put that in our comment section. Cesar Millan.
Is your silver-haired dog man.
Yeah. Cesar Millan. Hey, YouTube Cesar Millan, dude. If you have a dog, you know what?
Do it.
if you're having problems, as the streets say, if your ass be having problems on the streets
Good Lord.
with your dog,
Oh my gosh, he looks. Oh, I know this dude.
of course you do, because he's a living legend.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, of course you know who Cesar Millan is. He has helped many households with women whose husbands have far too much money. He's helped them with their little handbag dog and communicate better. He's a dog whisperer.
I do know this
Of
guy.
course you do. Cesar Millan is a living legend on planet Earth, damn it.
Damn.
Shout out Cesar Millan. Shout out Andrew Harrison for that one there. And if you don't know who Cesar is, go on YouTube it. But for now, let's get back to the sport. Spurs. Listen, Warren Buffett has a great saying. Mistakes in life and in business are fine. It's okay to make mistakes. Who are these people that think you're perfect? Warren Buffett's not perfect. Elon Musk is not perfect. Your mom and dad are not perfect. But here you are, being the magnificent human being you are now. It's not about mistakes. Mistakes are never the problem in life. What you cannot have is disasters and catastrophes. You cannot have a disaster or a catastrophe. You can have lots of mistakes. You can have an infinite. We will all, for the rest of our lives, have an infinite amount of mistakes that we'll make every day. Not a problem. What you cannot afford is to have one massive catastrophe. A marriage can survive if you're a little bit selfish. If you're late, slightly late, I guess, for your lady's or your husband's birthday. It can survive that. That's a mistake. If you forget about your wedding anniversary. A marriage cannot survive you sleeping with your wife's sister. That's a disaster. That's not a mistake. That is a disaster. What you cannot have is disasters in life. Warren Buffett says mistakes are fine. What you cannot have is a disaster. Right? And we all know this. As you age, and perhaps when you're younger, you embrace chaos. And I know there's people saying organized chaos and all of this, but ultimately we've seen it works at national level. So in states, it works in business, it works in your personal life. Chaos is the enemy of progress. Chaos is the enemy of progress. You know this. I know this. And the bedrock of eliminating chaos is knowing who you are. How many, and I can only speak for men. How many guys, as you sit there at home, how many guys do you know, whether you're a lady or a dude, might be one of your friends. How many guys do you know who are constantly looking for a better looking girlfriend, the next girlfriend? Right? No, this one, I don't know, she's selfish or late. No one's perfect. But how many guys you know who always want to move on? It's chaotic. It's chaos. Never happy. And they still at 35, 36, 38, 45, act like a child. It's chaos. And you can't progress. They never progress. They never grow up, these guys and girls. Because it's chaotic. Everything's chaos. Everything's about the next. Let me move to another thing. Without stability, you cannot progress. Spurs fired their perfect match in life. Mauricio Pochettino, he was perfect. He was perfect for them. He necessarily isn't perfect, but he was perfect. And since then, that firing was not a mistake. That was a disaster. For 5 seasons, they were in the top 4, a Champions League final, without spending very much. That was a disaster. They got to the League Cup final. They fired Jose Mourinho before that because he was making them uncomfortable. Listen, anybody who's not comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I know we live in a time now, you see it on social media, every single person who's done a crystal healing course wants to tell you, don't allow people into your life if they make you uncomfortable. Get away from those people. Their healing rocks are not going to help you. What you need is people that are pushing you to be uncomfortable at all times, looking to be a better human version of yourself. That doesn't just have to be about money. You can be a more ethical girlfriend, boyfriend, mom, dad. If you are with people that make you comfortable, you are toxic. It is toxic because when water is still, it is stagnant. And when it's stagnant, it is poisonous. Jose Mourinho made them uncomfortable. They fired him. That's 2 disasters in a row. Firing Mourinho was not a mistake. was an absolute disaster. Why would Conte and Fonseca want to come into that environment? Smart people can see that. Which is why they want to pre-negotiate with Daniel Levy. What does Daniel Levy think? Antonio Conte is not talking to other football people. You think Antonio Conte doesn't have Jose Mourinho on speed dial? You think he doesn't have Maurizio Pochettino on speed dial? So what's this bloke like? You think Fonseca, Portuguese, you think he doesn't have Mourinho on speed dial? Probably a Mendes guy as well. Do you honestly believe Gennaro Gattuso is one of the most demanding human beings on the planet? The reports are he has rejected Tottenham as well. Now, that's not about Gattuso. I think it was absolutely mad that they were going to get him anyway. But do you think these people don't talk? Spurs have had 2 disasters in a row. Now it's chaos. Mistakes are fine in life. What you cannot have is chaos. Chaos is the end. You cheat on your wife once, you see what happens. You have one boozy night every 6 years, your wife will be upset. You got to go sleep on the couch or maybe buy her a bunch of roses. You'll be fine. That's a mistake. You sleep with her best friend and see how that goes for you. Spurs have had 2 disasters in a row, and you cannot afford that, especially in elite environments where people like Chelsea and Man City and Liverpool are operating. Because unfortunately, you know what the problem in life is that when you have disasters, the rest of the world doesn't stop and say, "Ach, shame." All right? When you break up with a beautiful woman who is a grown-up and an adult, right? There's a line of guys who are waiting for her. I know you think you're special. Spurs think they're special. Daniel Levy thinks it's a special job to have. Get out of here. Oh, how did you treat Pochettino after he got you to a Champions League final? How did you treat Jose Mourinho? Listen, although fans and Twitter, I know Twitter doesn't respect Jose Mourinho. There's only 2 people in this generation. Fergie, Mourinho. They speak, everyone else shuts up. I'm pretty sure that's how all the LMA meetings go. Those 2 speak. Fergie speaks, Mourinho speaks. They all listen. Do you honestly think they haven't spoken? He's going to tell you it's a mess at Spurs. Mourinho will tell you everything was a fight. Listen, Manchester United probably had to stick with Oli. You know why? Because they've spoken to Mourinho. They've spoken to Louis van Gaal. Even though you and the Twitter bots don't respect Louis van Gaal, in those circles, oh boy, he's one of the OGs. Man United are struggling to find a manager now. You know why? They've had 3 disasters in a row. From Moyes to LVG, and ultimately the Mourinho situation was a disaster. Smart people don't like chaos. Think about the people in your own life right now. Who are the people you think, man, she's got it together, man, he's got it together? Whether true or not, there is no chaos in their lives. And if there is chaos, they deal with it. Chaos is the enemy of progress. Listen, Spurs are the guy who drives a BMW, right? But he's renting a house. How's that possible? Or he's renting an apartment. No food in his fridge, but he's driving a BMW. Nice stadium, all the flashy things. Daniel Levy wears beautiful Italian suits. Now, I like Daniel Levy as a numbers man. I liked Arsene Wenger as a numbers man. But football is about a little bit more than that. Nice stadium, nice image, the football operational side of Spurs. But what's happening with the football? What's actually happening on the ground, operationally? It's a mess. It's a disaster. 2 disasters in a row. I don't know how Spurs are turning this one around. And I'll tell you from personal experience, folks. I've had them in business. I've had them in my personal life. Disasters are almost... 1 disaster is impossible to turn around. 2, 3 in a row? Ugh. Listen, you went from Jose Mourinho, right? Guy who wants to control the whole club. Then you have now gone to Paratici, right? Director of football. Okay, so what's the model? What's the plan? What's the plan? Because Spurs have now gone from dating the librarian to dating the stripper. The pendulum swung too far. What is the plan? Conte is not in that. I'm not in that. Fonseca is a respected manager. I'm not in that. Gattuso demanding. I'm not into that. What's the plan? And it's been a disaster for the last 4 or 5 years. And Spurs are it's hard. And James is in the middle of this. James is quitting smoking. And at some stage, after they all, because generally when we all have vices, it's generally the vice's fault. It's someone else's fault, and the world's stressing me, and it's tough out there. But the moment will come. It came for me, and to anybody who has quit a toxic relationship, whatever it may be, toxic boss, whatever it may be in your life, right? And you've quit maybe 4 or 5 jobs, and it's always someone else's fault. In the end, it's kind of your fault. And when I say kind of, it's all your fault. The problem at Spurs is Daniel Levy. But Spurs won't admit that. And maybe they need 2 or 3 more disasters, as all of us human beings need, right? Is after you leave a good woman, a good man, you need 4 or 5 dickheads, right? You need 4 or 5 dickheads, and then you realize, my God, what was I doing? I'm the idiot. It was me. Daniel Levy's the problem at Spurs. Like Wenger became at Arsenal, and Arsenal took, 10 years to acknowledge. Everyone else could see it. Everyone else could see it. If you're out here snorting and drinking and smoking, we can see it. There's a great saying, the great Aldous Huxley, tremendous biologist, says, reality is the one thing that's always going on. Things don't need you to be true, right? The Levy thing's a disaster. Whether he likes it or not, whether Spurs fans like it or not, Daniel Levy is clearly the problem. It's clear now. Now you can dress it, and he's got us a new stadium. Listen, the person who starts a business is not always the right person to grow the business. Now, Daniel, you've got us here. Thank you. Bring in somebody else. The person who started a business, and you see this all the time with entrepreneurs. It's a real thing, right? They launch businesses and they hang on. They're too close to it. So they won't risk. It's like having your own child, because Tottenham are what they are because of Daniel Levy's hard work. It's like his child, right? And we know how moms and dads are. If you are still fortunate to have your mom and dad, you know how protective they are of you if they are, relatively, in inverted commas, good people. Is they're so protective. If you've lived out of home, think about the last time you went home. Jeez, my mom's everywhere. She's all over me. You know that feeling you start to get when you go home for 2 weeks? Jeez, I need to go back to my own place. Because your mom wants to, yes, you're 25. Yes, you're 35. Your mom still wants to protect you. You're still a baby to her. It's too close. The umbilical cord, that never changes. Daniel Levy, this hasn't changed. Because entrepreneurs, for them, their business is their baby. What they can't do is take risks. Because what you need is to, like birds do, push it out the nest. If you're going to fly, you're going to fly. To take risks, to go to the next level, you're probably going to spend 250 million in a transfer window. Tell me Daniel Levy's doing that. No, because he's got his model. It's his baby. This is how we run it. What if it doesn't work? That's how people think. Mums think like this. That's why you got to move out of home, right? To take risks and get a girlfriend and get a job. And she may not like 1 or 2 of your friends as you grow. This is how it is. To grow, Spurs have to kick out Daniel Levy. Tough to hear. But let me tell you something. Numbers men cripple growth. He's important in the background. He's a pen pusher. What he's not is he's not dynamic. He's not Elon Musk. There's a reason why Tesla grew like it did. There's a reason why there's only 6 or 7 companies that operate like Microsoft. Jobs. You need jobs. Right? Wozniacki, you go hold it down, do the nerdy stuff. The board, you know what I mean? Jobs. Go sell it. Go convince the people that this is the best. Daniel Levy can do the number stuff. We can see that. He has self-funded a model with long-term debt for the greatest stadium possibly on planet Earth outside of the new Las Vegas stadium in the NFL. It is certainly the most expensive stadium in Europe, but he has self-funded that, and they've got a beautiful model of long-term debt. So that's not a problem. Okay, what now, Daniel? And I think Spurs need to admit he's the problem. The upside now, I'll finish off on a positive for Spurs fans. The upside is Harry Kane staying now. Harry Kane is staying now. Because you get a Conte, maybe you get a Gattuso, you get a Fonseca, then you say to yourself, you know what, we'll coach ourselves into the top 6, into the top 4. There is, honestly speaking, all right, you could get all of Midas's gold. you could get all of the money that's been printed in the history of mankind and all of the money on every stock exchange in the history of moneydom. And Daniel Levy wouldn't take the offer now. Harry Kane's going nowhere. They are in absolute meltdown. And what numbers people do is they don't do deals while there's chaos. He'll wait for the market to settle, regardless of who the manager is now. And maybe you expect Ryan Mason to take care of the first 6 months while they regroup, replan. But if you're a Spurs fan, I got some good news for you. What this means is Harry Kane is going one place that is exactly nowhere. Not great for him, but okay, as a Spurs fan. Jimbo, they've Spursed it.
Wow. What happened there?
Oh, you're a bit emotional. You just quit smoking. It's a big change in your life. I
I'm
totally.
so apparently going through puberty. What the fuck happened?
You quit smoking. It's a big thing. Maybe it's all the toxins
So
leaving your fourth chakra
I did read you do cough more after the first month.
because of the fourth chakra.
No, because
Oh, have we moved on from that?
lungs are clearing the tar and all of this stuff. Anyway, Spurs have Spursed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people are blind to the whole Daniel Levy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I even still lived with my parents. They sorry, I got distracted. That's my bad. When I still lived with my parents,
James, it's okay.
3 years
It's
ago,
a safe space. You just quit smoking.
I got emotional again, and I apologize.
As a COVID survivor, I understand coming out of the trauma is the hardest part. So you stopping smoking, hashtag I can empathize.
It's just not easy.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
I'm gonna be strong.
Get a tattoo on your ankle. Get a lizard tattoo on your ankle, and get a like a string like ankle bracelet. Or you know that thing that.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you were saying. You know exactly the person I'm talking about.
I
Yeah?
do. Tottenham fans aren't blind to it because when I still lived with my parents and my stepdad would be watching the games on the weekends, I'd watch with him, and a lot of the time he would complain about many things, but one of the things he would complain about was the fact that Daniel Levy has now built this stadium. And in the games where Kane would go off injured or Kane wouldn't really have an impact,
Mm-hmm.
he would complain about how Daniel Levy himself is to blame for the fact that there's no substitutes for Kane.
Yeah.
There's no money being invested in the club. And I get you've just invested 200 million or billion or however much your stadium cost that can host a football game and host an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
And I get you've pumped that into the club, but building a new stadium is not going to win you games, bro.
Also, there's no excuse for Leicester to be better than you.
Exactly. So
It's like Arsenal. I don't want to hear Arsenal or Spurs' excuses. Number one, you've got the reputation advantage.
Yep.
So a reputation advantage knocks 10 million off the price, right? Is Leicester have to actually go and search, because the R&D is the tough part, right? Leicester probably spend 10 million extra on their scouting department. Look at the evidence. Look at what they've done over the last 15 years.
Sorry, did you say look at the Everton or the evidence?
Everton-dence. Yeah, that'll work. No. For me, Spurs and Arsenal have no excuse. There is no reason for the last 5 years that you've been comparable to or worse than Leicester if it's a money thing.
And it's not hard to make up the money from the stadium you've just built. Sell the naming rights.
Listen, that's a whole other conversation. I hear where you're going there. Let's just stick to the football pitch side, right?
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. On the football pitch side, right? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Okay. On the football pitch side, if you are struggling and you don't want to pump money in, okay, sell the naming rights to the stadium, make all of the money in the world, use that money.
Okay, is one thing. What I'm saying is, it's not like Leicester are outspending Spurs and Arsenal.
At all.
You're still spending more than Leicester. Then the problem is the people, right? Then it's not a money problem. It's Daniel. Who are you employing to go and find these players? Do you know what I'm saying? It's if Leicester are not spending as much as you, and it's not like we're talking about Leicester now being comparable to Spurs for like a year, right? Leicester won a Premier League title. What the hell is... In fact, Leicester beat Spurs to a Premier League title. Real thing. Eden has a top corner. Belter of goal. 2-2. That ended it all. Arsenal have not been in the top 4, right, for 5 years now. Why are Leicester finishing above Arsenal? And okay, but Spurs last season.
But so then it's definitely the R&D, because I know, lots of people know.
Yes.
Spurs have the ability to sign the most random player from
Doherty. What's Doherty doing at right back for Spurs?
Bruh, that money, the 80 mil for Bale.
Oh my gosh.
Remember the photo that was released?
Yeah,
the meme
Paulinho
yes,
and all
the
these
group of players that
yeah.
was signed with the Bale money, and where are they now? And
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Dude, Tottenham have this, and sometimes pays off. You got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I like him.
And Ndombele is pretty good.
Son?
I think Ndombele is actually academy.
No. They paid £60 million for him.
There you go. Son is pretty good.
What did you do with the Kyle Walker money? Because you know he was £50 million.
That is a good point.
Yeah, what did you do with all of that money that you got for him? Lamela, why'd you sign Eric Lamela? What happened there?
Also, why did you keep Eric Lamela on the books after that massive injury that kept him out of football for like 2 years?
The problem is who's going to pay his £150,000 a week? And he's probably got, 2 years left on his deal.
No, but what I'm saying is nothing's forcing you to keep him as a player after he's returned from the injury.
No, but remember, contract. This is why we have contracts. Is Eric Lamela says, no, thank you, I'm not taking a pay cut. Because who's going to pay him $150,000 a week or whatever you've paid him, Is nobody's taking Eric Lamela at all, anywhere on the wages. Because you must remember, when you pay $40 million for a guy, the wages are going to be... And I hear what you're saying. You see, your heart's a mess. Again, it's a levy problem. Is because you know what it is about most of us in life? What? There's levies.
Tottenham don't have enough leverage.
There's no leverage in the negotiations. That's excellent. That is excellent.
Nailed it.
Tottenham don't have any leverage.
Leverage.
Makes no sense. For me, I don't want to hear the stadium excuse. And Arsenal fans are the worst with it. Okay, but now, Leicester, you are still outspending Leicester, are you not? Am I wrong? Am I not reading all of the transfer news that I read every single day and the data correctly? Arsenal and Spurs are still outspending Leicester, the last I checked. So then what's going on, guys? Because it's a results business. And it's been 6 years now? 6 years of Leicester being better than Arsenal and in the mix with Spurs. Daniel, what's your excuse now? Then we have to say, what's the common denominator?
Also, why are you letting go of players like Gareth Bale and like, maybe Harry Kane? Why are you letting those kinds of players leave your club? You like, is it West Ham or Aston Villa who sold off like Carlos Tevez, Frank Lampard, John Terry?
Yeah.
Dude.
So listen, this makes it even worse. What you're saying for me makes it even worse for Tottenham. Shall I tell you why?
Tell me.
Because Leicester let go of Maguire. Leicester let go of N'Golo Kante.
Yep.
And where are they now? Still in the mix.
They live in there. They've got Wilfred Ndidi still. They're chilling, dude.
They let go of Riyad Mahrez.
Chilling.
And what happened? The recruitment was sensational.
Yeah.
So again, Daniel, what is the issue? Because don't say money to me. Because I'm watching Leicester consistently be in the top 6 as they shall. N'Golo Kante. Who wouldn't want N'Golo Kante in the world right now? No problem. We're getting Didi. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't you? Who? In fact, they're going, N'Golo, who? Did he play here? Oh, you mean the 32 million guy? Oh, sorry.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Dude, sorry.
Right. Riyad Mahrez. Right? Because Mahrez was there, Bale. You go to Leicester now. Who?
They've got a young dude there now.
Harvey Barnes is who they have. They'll tell you, you mean Harvey? No, I mean Riyad Mahrez. Who? Oh, the 50 million guy we let go of. And we're still in the top 6, that guy. Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, Harry Maguire. Oh, you mean the guy we sold for a world record?
Mr. Mykonos.
No, you mean the guy we sold for a world record? That guy. And then we replaced him with Soyuncu. That guy. Is that who you're talking about? And with Fofana, a 19-year-old who might be the best young centre-back in the world today. Is that who you talk? okay. So you know what the nice thing about football is no. Sorry, Mr. Levy. We can see what your opposition's doing. It's not like you're doing this. Football isn't a business like accounting where it's happening behind closed doors. No, we can see what Leicester are doing with half of your budget. By the way, Mr. Levy, explain that.
Nowhere near Tottenham's budget.
So do you know what I'm saying now, Jimbo? It's not I'm not going to accept the money excuse, Mr. Levy, because you know what it is, Jimbo, before you take it away.
Yeah.
In life is if you want all the glory for doing well, right? In life, right? So let's use a scale of 10. If most people want what? 10 out of 10 glory, and I'm talking as a man. I know men, they want 10 out of 10 acknowledgement. That was my idea. Men are big on that. Like, give me a medal, give me a watch, give me a car, give me a bonus. You know what I mean? So people want 10 out of 10 acknowledgement. How I operate in life, if you want 10 out of 10 acknowledgement, 10 out of 10 blame. You don't get 10 out of 10 acknowledgement and 6 out of 10 blame when things go wrong, right? You're either in charge or you're not. Is Daniel Levy in charge or not? Yes or no? Tell me now. Yes or no, James? Is Daniel Levy in charge at Tottenham or not? If he's in charge, then he must get all the blame. Because he got all the glory for Gareth Bale, right? Yes, you signed him from Southampton and he's brilliant and he's built us this beautiful stadium.
Yeah, I'd definitely say Daniel Levy's the one that's...
It's him and a guy called Joe Moody.
Yeah.
Now, Moody's the money, quiet guy. Levy's the face. Daniel, sorry, mate. I'm not accepting the money excuse because I'm watching Leicester, right? So you have no excuse. Plus, you've got the up on Leicester.
Yeah.
You've got the reputation. You're in London. Arsenal, you have the reputation. Arsenal are obviously another level of ridiculous. Like, you are one of the top 3 clubs in the world. And you've become what you are. But Daniel Levy, mess. And they have to accept now, right, is somebody at Tottenham has to sit Daniel Levy down and go, Daniel, you are now just going to move to doing the deals. You're no longer running the football operations of this club. Because you know what he's great at? NFL. And he's a big, you know what, he's an investment banker and he's an accountant. He comes from that big investment bank world, right? So Daniel, go and use your relationships to take Tottenham to another level in America and China. You've already got those relationships. It's not even hard work for you, pal. Don't even worry about it. Moody and the guys need to bring in someone, an Elon Musk type guy, man. You know, you look at Chelsea, Marina. You can see that lady's not to be messed with. You can see that. We're not playing here. The Glazers, hate them or not, Joel Glazer's not to be messed with. We want Paul Pogba. We're going to get him.
Yeah.
How much? 80. Don't even worry about it. 85. Go home. Yeah. Harry Maguire, mucking about with 60. How much you want? 75. Here's 80. Go away. Right? You know what I'm saying? Fred, how much? 50, probably 30. Worth 35. 50. Okay, come here. 50. Here's the money. Anthony Martial, right? 57 million pounds they paid for him at the age of 19.
Plus, let's add a bonus in there for the Ballon d'Or because we think he's going to win.
Listen, you hate but you may hate the Glazers, but they operate like sharks, right? We get it done. They get it done. Think what you will of them, right? They get it done. Daniel Levy, when was the last time, pal? It's been a while. That Gareth Bale money, they still haven't replaced him. Christian Eriksen, still haven't replaced him.
So,
Ndombele is not a good signing.
I found a list here, right? And I'm not going to give any reasons because I know what the time is. I've just looked at the time. I'm not going to give any reasons, but this just shows that for a long time, there's been a fundamental systematic issue at Tottenham behind closed doors and with the way things are run, right? Mm-hmm. Whether Daniel Levy was involved during these sort of transfers is yet to be determined. I know we don't have a lot of time. So just listening to some of these names, it's either who on earth are you? Mm-hmm. Or it's, okay, good signing. We're about to get some, a solid midfield or a solid striker or whatever it is. But then they just completely fall off the wagon and there's just nothing there. So, Mbulelo Mabizela is one of the players they've signed.
Yeah, I was there while he was there.
Like,
they should have signed me. Maybe it was the wrong Mbulelo that they called up to the first team.
It says sadly.
He scored a great goal on his debut, by the way.
Yeah, it says yeah. Sadly, it was to be the South Africans' only real moment of joy in England.
Yeah, sad.
Helder Postiga and
Terrible.
Bobby Zamora.
Bobby Zamora I can live with. Helder Postiga, that's great hair. That's all he's got. That's Paulo's old Portuguese mate.
It's the
Helder
boy.
Postiga, never good enough.
Andy Reid.
Terrible.
Horrendous
Good left foot, but not good enough for Spurs.
Danny Murphy.
Decent player. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he
flopped
played
at
at the
Tottenham.
he played in the middle level clubs, Liverpool, Tottenham. You know,
Callum Davenport.
yeah, terrible defensive option there.
Kevin Prince Boateng.
What a guy, the most electric figure of all time.
But not at Tottenham.
Not at all, actually. As a footballer, he's just like he's Pogba who didn't have the medals.
Exactly. Also, another very, very, very talented player.
Yeah, electric.
Gilberto. Flop at Tottenham.
Wow. Yeah.
Luis Zaha. Not Zaha.
He was broken.
Zaha.
Yeah, no, former Man United guy, Fulham guy. He was broken by the time he got there.
Yeah.
Because the injuries had shattered his career. There's a reason Fergie let him go.
So I know it's left a couple of sort of names off this list, and there's some footballers from more of the modern era, but it just shows, like, even going back, Tottenham's, Tottenham's method of building a team, doing the R&D for transfers, nobody knows what on earth is going on behind the scenes.
Been a disaster. You know what the nice thing about numbers is? Men lie, women lie, numbers, they don't lie. Now, I've never been involved in big finance, but the numbers tell you what's happened. And when Poch was around, great. So why'd you fire him? Like, it was great. You win the Champions League every year. His signings, he was making the signings work. He wasn't whinging. Why'd you get Lucas Moura? I don't know what's going on there. Nice player, but, Poch was making it work.
Well, Moura essentially sent them to the finals.
Yeah, but I mean,
that was this one moment of, like...
Yeah, Gareth Bale. Listen, Levy, you know what I think? I think you're also in a business. You never want to let the essence of the business go. Levy's Tottenham through and through. Just move him somewhere else in the business. Do you know how big Tottenham is as a business? They have a relationship with the NFL. They are the only European club at the moment. I think they're going to have an NFL game in Germany soon, right? But they are massive. What he's done on a business scale, unbelievable. Keep him there. Now let's talk about football. Are you telling me there's nobody in the whole of England? You can't call Peter Kenyon and say, Pete, what are you up to, pal? 2 years, we need to restructure. We need to change our structures to winning structures like you did at United and Chelsea. If not, can you recommend somebody? Sir David, it should be Sir David. David Gill, what are you up to at the moment? Can you consult with us at Tottenham?
David Gill.
We need a 5-year plan because we noticed you and who's that bum? Sir Alex Ferguson, is that his name? We noticed you did okay for 15 years. How did you operate? How did you operate the football side of things? Because David, we noticed you'd sign Evra and some bum called Vidic. How did you get that done? We noticed you did that for like 10, 15 years, right? How'd you do that? How do you do it? Who are the people? Right? Keep Daniel Levy out of it because he clearly can't do it. And you know how I know he can't do it? He hasn't done it. You know what I mean? Like, come, what are we doing here? Is it tiddlywinks or are we trying to be in the top 4? And Daniel Levy must be respected for what he is. We're all limited in life. Does Roman Abramovich run the whole thing? No. He had Michael Milano. He has now Marina, who's just, I don't know what this woman's made of. Superwoman. Does does Sheikh Mansour run the whole thing? Absolutely not. He's got the whole Barcelona board, right? If you're going to rock like that, put people in their place. And Daniel Levy, unfortunately in life, I don't know what it is about him. He wants to control everything. That just doesn't work. Nowhere I know where great things have happened. Even Steve Jobs. He understood he had to leave a part of the business to the was, right? He understood that. It was clear to him. Elon Musk, he took all of his guys from PayPal with him when he went to Tesla. He said, great, I'll sell PayPal to, I forget who they sold it to. But in here, there's 3 or 4 guys, cheap guys, pack your bags, we out of here. Because he knows he can't do it on his own. No billionaire's ego is that big. No, or it's not just about being a billionaire. Successful people, which is why you'll see if you're in, and I know people who are, people are in business, people work, you'll often notice, especially at massive banks and companies, if you're ever reading articles, you must see what happens. When the CEO leaves, what happens? The COO, the CFO, he's gone, she's gone as well. Why? Because the COO knows, without this operational guy, I'm dead. You know what I mean? Daniel Levy, little self-awareness. Tottenham, a little self-awareness. That's all I urge. At the moment, it's not working.
They really spursed it.
They spursed it. Well said.
It's hard to spur them on at this point, honestly.
Very good. Very good. Jimbo, should we take some comments on that front? Yeah, it's hard to spur them on. All right, Jimbo, shout out. Listen, let's take some comments and we'll be out for the weekend.
Gutle says, I wonder if Norwich still have nightmares about Suarez. I had the same thought when I found out Norwich were promoted to the Premier League. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
And now it's worse because we've got a front three that's electric on a good day.
15-0 might be coming up this season.
Yes, they probably hate Liverpool Football Club because it's never an easy game for them, ever.
No. 15-0 will happen this year.
Gutle says, Spurs, who are the fat guy, need someone who can get them in shape. Eddie Howe is an ambitious guy who is used to working with a limited budget.
Yeah. But isn't it sad that you had
Eddie Howe,
Pochettino.
Yeah.
You had the guy who so not your second option. You had, but it's the typical. I can always get a better girlfriend when your girlfriend says, "Oh, you can't get drunk on Sundays." You know these guys.
Yeah.
Like, no, she's so boring. No, she's a grown up. Pochettino was a grown up. No, I can do better. All right. That's what happens.
Here we are, huh? Zapeta says, in James's cult, did they hold hands and sing Kumbaya around the bonfire? They did, actually. I had to sit on my balcony last night and look at the moon, and then howl when it reached 12 o'clock. Also, James, your gaming setup sounds elaborate, kind of like Umbelelo's running setup. It's really not. I just kind of turn my Xbox on, and that's about it.
But are you the douchebag with like a gaming chair? You strike me, you might be that.
No, I just sit on my couch with my heater by my legs because it's cold, because the roof is really high.
Oh, you should get underfloor heating. It's a game changer.
Well, I can't in a loft apartment.
What do you mean? Do you not have a floor? That doesn't make any sense, what you say.
No.
I had no, rubbish. I had underfloor heating in my upstairs bedroom my whole life at home. What are you talking about?
No, because of never mind.
Oh, is it open?
Yes.
But what's the floor made of? Wood. You're sitting on something, or you levitating?
Tiles. It's tiles.
So what are we talking about?
Let's just move
So
on.
no, what are we talking about?
I'm okay without underfloor heating. I've got a heater. I stay on my couch with my my heater.
James, you know what? Sorry about that.
Headphones.
I know you've just quit smoking. You don't need any more pressure.
I'm
sorry.
on edge.
Yeah. What else we got?
I actually feel kind of good. Tristan says, excuse I have heard before. It's a stadium thing. When clubs move to a new stadium, they lose some of their identity. Arsenal moved from Highbury and Spurs have a new stadium.
Well said. Listen, I think it's great that we all take the mickey, but football is a spiritual sport. You know what I mean? It's the connection between the local community and the football club is uber important. And when you think of places like Highbury and the Lane, is that those are, for lack of a better term, spiritual homes.
Because of how historic they are.
So that spiritual relationship, it's true. I think, I don't know if Tristan's taking the mickey, but on a very serious note, I've heard the excuse before, but you do lose something. You remember, I don't know, did you ever go to Highbury?
No, but I know when Arsenal moved, there was a lot around their move and their form and stuff like that.
Can I tell you, it was being at Highbury, if a player farted, you could probably hear it. You're so tight on the pitch. I promise you, it was such a cauldron, so I can totally feel how you lose a part of yourself. It's almost like, I don't care what kind of bravado person you are. If you go through a divorce, the person's gone really, right? They're not living in your house. You're living in a new house. But a piece of you, I don't know if people have been in that situation, but, I've spoken to my mom. I come from a home of divorce. Even if you've moved on in the physical sense, whatever it is inside of you is still a little piece is still there. You know what I'm saying?
It's like if Liverpool fans decided that they weren't going to sing You'll Never Walk Alone again. Like there would be a big aspect of especially the home games that are missing, or if the cop wasn't a thing anymore because they have to.
And you can't make up a new cop. Like
Exactly.
you can't move to a new stadium and say, oh, this is the cop end. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we all have our favorite slippers. You can get $500 slippers, right?
Yeah.
But man,
Yeah.
those ones, whatever it is, or whatever it may be. You look at children with their blankets or whatever, that comfort. But yeah, hey, listen, but still, I don't want to hear it. Get on with it.
It's part of the reason why Tottenham's stadium thing, their stadium is called the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and not White Hart Lane. They didn't transfer the name because of, like you say, it's just not going to be the same White Hart Lane.
No, it would be asinine. To do that.
Tristan also says Levy and Woodward are perfect examples of what happens when you let accountants run the football side of things.
I would add Arsene Wenger to that in the end, because Arsene Wenger went from just football coach, and when they gave him all the power, and for those who don't know, he's got a master's in, I believe, economics. So Tristan, 100% correct.
Living in the same house as Tristan, he could not stand Ed Woodward. Whenever the camera would cut to him sitting in the stands at Old Trafford, could not stand to see his face.
But what I can't understand with the Woodward and Levy situation is, okay, and Woodward again, look at the sponsorship numbers at what United did. Through the roof. Because I think he comes from KPMG, I stand to be corrected, but big money. Like the proper investment banker, and he was a chartered accountant as well. Comes from that background like Levy. Is that, look at the business relationships he had. So let's just leave the football aside for now. So just leave him in that role.
Yeah.
What's he, CEO? Name someone else a COO, and they must do the football stuff.
Yeah.
Now you don't have the problem. Now Levy, you just go and get us every deal from China ever.
Yeah, go get every single piece of money you can get in the world.
All of the money, just hoard it to Manchester. And then, but I don't want you spending a second of your day worrying about our new left back that we need. Because you know what? We've got a COO who is strictly like Man United. You make over $1 billion a year. What, you can't pay a guy $3 million a year to come and be your COO?
Yeah.
Or what's the excuse?
Levy, you go do that. Leave the who the new left back is to our new COO, Jose Mourinho.
In fact, don't even bother him about that. Just say, Daniel, you're just doing the money stuff now. Don't worry. You don't need to know anything else.
You know that green stuff that you really, really, really like?
Well, are brilliant at managing.
Go and make all of it.
It's weird. It's weird that smart people can't see this.
I'm gonna skip over Pimo's comment about the Glazers.
Why?
Well, I'm going to come back to it, but I'm going to do these two last ones because they're more relatable to the top two ones. So Tristan says the stadium excuse is not good enough when you're underperforming.
Totally agree.
And Pimo says Woodward, business genius, football side of horrendous.
Absolutely.
Wait, football side horrendous. I don't know why my brain broke there.
Because you just quit smoking and it's tough. It's like it's kind of like leaving. I understand because
it's just random words coming out of my mouth.
James, you just survived a trauma. Because I had COVID, so I totally understand coming from a trauma. Again, I just want to say my empathy. Should we start an empathy group?
No, please, Lord, no.
You don't want one. No, so you're saying I'm not empathetic, or just not with me?
I don't need a pity party
from me, or
just. I don't need a whole group of people to be like, oh, James, you're going to get through the smoke. I don't need that.
What if your girlfriend does that? Are you going to break up with her?
If
girlfriends do that annoying thing where they're supportive and nice.
If I need support because of an urge from you or anyone that's not in my circle, I'll ask.
See, I wish that's how it worked, but I'm yet to hear a drug addict go, hey guys, what's happening? Listen, this heroin addiction, I really need some help. Do you know what I mean?
You make it sound like he's walking into a church. Hey, listen, Pastor John, quick question.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling.
Yeah. See, that's a problem. I know in your mind, you're the addict who's just so enlightened and you've transcended your vices. But here's the thing. You'll probably see it now. It'll probably annoy you now. Now your lady knows you don't want any support. but she's going to want to support you. And actually, when it is difficult and you do have cravings, and she'll be like, no, it'll be okay. Now, what are you going to do? Just punch her in the kidney?
Jeez.
It's a metaphor.
No.
It's not, no, I know you'd never hit her. But what are you going to do when she does this annoying thing of being supportive? You thought of that? Maybe have a strategy for that, James, when people love you and they want to support you. Just think about it. You don't have to answer. All right, let's finish off the comments and let's get out of here.
Pimo says Taiwanese noodle company.
Oh, yeah. Lovely stuff by Woodward there.
And second last comment, Pimo also says United have just got a director of football now.
I mean, it's the most successful sporting organization economically on the planet. What the hell are we waiting for? All right, but anyway, it's never too late to do the right thing. Yeah, I'm saying, James.
Exactly. Never too late to quit smoking.
Sure.
Here we are.
And yeah, but it is too late for anyone to care if they love you. So
it's true. Bimo says, lastly, the Glazers, Thomas Edward Brady Jr., Robert James Gronkowski. Those are just names. I'm not sure what that means.
You gotta learn. The world doesn't end in England, James. They had.
I know who they are. I just don't know what is significant.
So,
is he saying that?
No, I'll tell you.
That are the equivalent of the Glazers?
No, the Glazers own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Tom Brady, of course, from the dynasty. Anyway,
yes.
People who know Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, both the greatest quarterback of all time,
yes,
and the greatest tight end of all time. So what happened there was they got them Gronk out of retirement. Tom Brady, after he got fed up with Bill Belichick. And they went and won the Super Bowl. By the way, from having had listen to this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the worst loss record, right, in all of America's major sport. That's baseball, NBA, NFL. They had the worst record in all of those sports. Glazers got it done. Brady, Gronk, Super Bowl. So they get it done. The point of what I think Pimo is saying there is they get it done. The Glazers, you hate them, you can hate them, whatever your reasons are. But ultimately, in terms of getting the assets in the house, they get it done. Daniel, you have not, my good man.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Give us some outro music there, Jimbo. So, big day for all of us. If you are with us on YouTube, please click like before you go. Even if you don't like the show.
Please.
It is the 18th of June. Jimbo, shout out to you. Quitting smoking. Letting your girlfriend support you from now on. You know what? Just at least go and think about letting her support you. You know? You don't have to be Mr. Tough Guy. Because I know your image is like, I'm so tough. I'm the biggest alpha in the room. And I don't need anybody. Cool. I'm not telling you what to do. Because you managed to get yourself a girlfriend. I'm just saying, just think about letting her support you. I'm not saying you must. Just give it a... You don't even need to answer. Just process it this weekend. You got tonight. When's your lady coming over? Tomorrow or tonight? Sometime this weekend you'll see her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just before you see her, give it 2 or 3 hours and think, what if she does get supportive? Just think of, and again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, think of the possibilities from when she does support you and how you should behave to encourage that or not, by the way. So, you know what I mean? Just decide whether she should be or shouldn't be supportive. Just think of what's possible from whatever decisions you make from there. Jimbo, great week, pal. Good to be back from you being fine and me having COVID. Great to be back.
I survived COVID.
Yeah, you did. And it was, what did you say, scary? Or what was the word you used? Frightening.
It was frightening.
Yeah, it was frightening being fine. Frightening being fine. Jimbo, great week, pal. Great to be back. To all of you at home. My name is MKT. This is the MKT Show. It's been an absolute pleasure. And enjoy the Euros. Enjoy being with loved ones this weekend. And I hope you have the greatest weekend in the history of weekends that have ever existed on the Grecian calendar. My name is MKT. This is the MKT Show. For now, the 18th of June. We are the hell out of here.